Welcome to the vlog. So today I want to do a post review of my very first crit race. So last Sunday I did the Gilbert Hungry Dog and it was a blast. I had a ton of fun. It was my very first race, so it was all like brand new to me. And of course I hit all the big YouTube cyclists up and was watching all their vlogs on what to do, what not to do. So going into the race, I didn't want to get too distracted on all the do's and don'ts, but at the same time, I did want to take some of the advice to give myself the best chance of maybe positioning myself pretty good in the bunch for the end, but at the same time to be safe. So that was pretty much my goal for this race, was just to do as best I can, but not at the expense of my safety, right? So I didn't want to crash. I didn't want to get into any kind of confrontation, maybe, I don't know. So I think this is just going to be a really quick overview. I kind of wanted to do this video just for myself, just as a catalog on my races, to see, okay, how am I improving? How are my tactics? How am I positioning within the group improving? So let's dive in and see what we got. So we'll start with the very first lap right at the start here. So let's see. So when I rocked up to the line, everybody was pretty much a wheel on the line, and it was a little bit crowded, and I wasn't really sure, okay, should I take the initiative to start on the line as well, or should I maybe start on the back row, right? So it's just the start. It really wasn't going to be too aggressive of a start, but as I was rolling up, I kind of took a minute and just stopped behind. They were kind of giving some announcements. Then I decided, okay, I'm going to step up, I'm going to be confident, I'm going to get to the line. So that's what I did. So I started right on line with everybody else. And I intentionally started in a pretty easy gear. So taking off on the line, I didn't want to have to be putting down a lot of force to go forward. I wanted that really quick revolution, and this way I can clip in as soon as possible. And I was pretty happy with the result. So, I kind of ended up mid-pack. I see a lot of people looking down, still trying to clip in, and I see my eyes are dead straight. Moving forward. So I was really happy with that, being able to clip in super fast. And then as you can see, it's pretty lazy start. No one's really gunning it out of the starting line. And then let's see how I do coming into the second lap. I felt pretty good. I mean, the pace was pretty slow at this first lap, but let's see. So everybody's kind of rolling through. Where I'm at. I'm, at the back. So I wasn't really excited about that. So when I was going up to the line, I was kind of see, okay, who looks like they have some good form? And then I was saying, okay, maybe I'll follow them the first couple laps just to get started. Well, I don't exactly know what happened, but the people who are following decided to stay at the back. And every video I've watched said, absolutely do not do that. Because one, it's the most dangerous place. So you've got rookies, like myself, sitting at the back who are just kind of sucking wheel, and if there's a crash as people are jockeying for position, right, it's more likely maybe that I could hit them. So I wasn't really happy with that, dead last in the pack, so that was kind of not fun there. So we're coming up on the third lap, and they had a preem, so basically they said on the second lap, the next person to cross the line is, I think it was a pair of tires or something. So a group really went off. So after the second lap, I wasn't happy with my position. So I did the best I could, without, kind of killing myself, because I had a big sprint going to move up. So I moved up a few places, which I was really excited about, just to know that I could be, somewhat aggressive and move my way up within the pack. So I was really happy about that, knowing that, just because I was at the back doesn't mean I can't jump in and get a good position. And I wasn't elbowing, right? I'm not harassing people or bumping people over, but there's a way to slowly pick a line so that you can move up. So we're going through, and I was pretty happy. With where I was at. I kind of stayed, maybe middle to the back of the pack. But like I said, I was just getting comfortable, and the people who I were eyeing on as being, on pretty good form, they tended to stay a little bit behind. I mean, this is an intra-level crit race, so I'm riding with people who, are maybe not as experienced, but at the same time, that doesn't mean they don't have good form and they're not fit. So I felt pretty comfortable with where I was at, middle to kind of back of the pack. I felt like that was an okay position, but really I wanted to get further up in the pack. And I got dropped to the back again. So like what was going on is that you always have to be pushing to move up in the pack. So like as soon as I got comfortable, I felt like people were trying to overtake me, as people were trying to move from the back, because nobody really wanted to be in the back consistently. So as everybody's moving forward, I got comfortable in the middle of the pack and kind of lost some ground there. So you always have to be, trying to move forward, stay at the front. So I definitely lost a little bit of ground there. And then what happens, so I could definitely feel that. I was like, I'm spending way too much time at the back of the pack. Like I really got to pick up my effort here. So I think I did a really good job and got myself back to the middle of the pack, which I was really happy about. And then as we roll through here, so you can see I got tired of just sticking to the middle, to the back. I was like, this is my first race. I'm not winning. Like that wasn't really the goal of this race, right? The goal of this race was to get the touches, right? To move around on the pad, get comfortable with the other cyclists around me. So I really wanted to be up front and kind of like pushing the pace, maybe, probably not. But I wanted to be up there just to see what it's like. I didn't want to go the whole race and just be like dragging a wheel. So I put in a couple good efforts there, and I ended up sticking so it looks like I got into second position, and then I think I kept that position for a few laps. So right here on this lap, they offered another preem, and you can see that the group like really widened up. So I was like, well, I can either drop back and get back with a bunch and leave the two riders up front, or I can try to close the gap. So this was a half-hour race, and I really wasn't paying attention to like how many laps it was going to be, and I really didn't even focus on like the time. I was just focused on keeping my position within the group. So that's probably something I'll work on a little bit more, is not just focusing on my position like moment to moment, but like in the course of the overall race. So maybe the first 10 minutes, find a position in the pack that's fairly comfortable, and then maybe the next 5 to 10 minutes try to inch my way closer to the front. And then it's really important from like the second to third lap to really get a good position, but at the same time to have energy left over. So we'll see, that ends up being my Achilles heel in this race. Is I really did a good job, I think, staying up front, but at the same time a couple times I had to really kind of burn some matches to stay up front when I should have probably just cut back with the bunch. But I wanted to be aggressive. I wanted to push it a little bit. So I actually stayed up front for quite a bit, which I was pretty happy about. But I think I definitely lost some energy there. And then we had another guy, so he wanted a gun for a preem. And then I decided not to follow on that one. I figured we would catch him. We were still pretty early into the race. It was just a solo rider. I didn't want to try to time trial it my way through. So this is the last lap going in, and I'm like way at the back of the pack. So that was not smart. I should have raced, I should have been a little bit more aware on racing and be like, okay, I'm kind of getting tired, and this is the last lap. Like people are going to be sprinting like every corner. People are going to try to be splitting the pack, trying to prevent people from sucking their wheel. So I ended up coming in 7th, which I was pretty happy about. I mean, that's about mid-pack. 12 people raced. There was a little kiddo in there who was killing it. But overall, I was pretty happy with what I did. I mean, I spent some time at the back, right, knowing that, okay, if I don't want to be at the back, I have to continually be pushing the pace, like for myself to stay up front. And then as soon as I got like the confidence to move around within the group, I decided, okay, now I'm going to stick up front a little bit, put my nose out there, see what I can do. But I think I spent too much time up there. I think if I had dropped back a couple places, so it ended up being like 15 laps. If I dropped back a few places, maybe like lap 13, 12, 13, and then on that last lap, going into the last lap, like move my position up to that maybe third position, and then hold that, and this way at the very end I can be the first to a corner, and I can like be the one gunning it. I can be the one trying to split the break, rather than I burnt too many matches going into the final lap, and then I just was catching up like the entire last lap. So I was definitely not having fun there. But like I said, it was my first race. I definitely had a lot of fun, which I think is the most important part, other than not falling. So I felt really happy about that. But at the same time, I think I definitely learned a lot of good lessons, like just being confident, like on your bike. Definitely want to practice your handling skills and cornering. I did notice on a lot of the corners, like, we were going pretty fast. So like the average speed was about 23 miles per hour for the entire race. But I noticed that when we would hit, so two of the corners were pretty tight turns, that I would actually lose like a bike length, if not two, to the person in front of me, because I didn't want to clip my pedals. I didn't want to lean over too much. I just wasn't that confident. And then I'd have to, to give it a little effort to catch back up. And when you're doing this after every single lap, I mean, how many times can you really do that before it starts to wear on your legs? So I definitely needed to improve on that. But other than that, I'm super excited with my positioning in the race, like most of the way. I really tried to not get too like inside my head like during the race, so I didn't want to be like beating myself up. But at the same time, just being aware that, okay, take a breath, settle down, and then like focus on what's your next move going to be. Like really take some time to analyze, okay, I'm at this lap, I need to do this and doing this. And I think I did really good for maybe like 80% of the race. And then that last like 90% of the race where like everybody's gunning for the line, everybody's tracking for position. I think maybe I just ran out of gas a little bit from all the little matches I had to burn as I was trying to stay up front. But at the same time, I mean, these are just lessons learned. I think you could be a Cat 2 racer and be having like these same exact things, or just like have a bad day and have some weak legs and then get dropped. So with crit racing, I mean, it's totally day to day, and it's all about your position in the pack and how smart you are on the bike. So I think going over the clips like this is really going to help me like long term to understand, okay, like what do I need to improve on and what am I doing well on. So I'm pretty confident with my fitness on the bike. Now I just need to get my cycling knowledge up a little bit. So thanks for watching. If you've got some experience in racing, or maybe shared some of the same issues I did, and maybe some of the same wins, definitely comment below. Let me know how you're doing. And if you've got some commentary on a race that you think I should check out, let me know. Drop a little link in the description and I'll definitely check it out. Hope you enjoyed the ride. Be safe.